Welcome to Dorcas Fashion Academy. In this tutorial, we shall be preparing the patterns and fabric for our sorting hat.
So this is our pattern for our sorting hat. This is just the brim and the crown. The face we're going to put together now so that you understand how it goes. This brim goes for all sizes because it's a big hat and it doesn't really matter. We're looking at adult size, 54, 56, 58, 60 and 62 head circumference. This will be cut in the felt. There will be 2, it says it on the pattern. Brim cut 2. We have 0.8 centimeters seam allowance. Here are the sizes, and the same size that you cut here in the head circumference, you need to cut here in the crown. Again, we've got the sizes here so you don't make a mistake. So I've put this pattern together. This is the face of the sorting hat, and I actually left this one out because this one is a diagram. This comes with the printer test of 5 centimeters and the diagram, and this is the way we usually put our patterns together because I like to have the diagrams on the first page, but sometimes it doesn't happen. So I haven't stuck it together because I don't need it for my pattern. And this one is a 1 size because this is the one that covers the actual crown with the face of the sorting hat. We're going to cut this piece out and this piece out. I'm going to cut all the pieces out and I'll lay them out so you can see all the patterns all cut out. So these are our patterns for our sorting hat. The brim, the crown, the face, and this is a channel for our wire. We're going to cut in felt 2. We're going to cut in felt 1 and 1 for the face, and the crown is going to be done in pell form or a very stiff interfacing. You have to cut these shapes out, cut these shapes so that we can draw it on our felt, but that I'm going to do later. I'm going to set everything up so you can see how we're cutting. So this is our brown felt, and I'm going to put a couple of pins, but not too many, there's no need. And cutting the felt is quite easy, and you don't have to worry too much about the grain because it really doesn't have a grain. So I've folded the felt double here so that I can cut 2 of my brim, and this piece here is single, and then when I open this piece I'll cut the channel for the wire. So now we have cut our 3 patterns. This one double, this one single, and this one single. I'm taking my paper scissors and I'm going to cut out these shapes, which is actually says on the pattern, cut out and draw shape onto the fabric. And this is what I'm going to do now. So I finished cutting out the face of the sorting hat, and I've cut out this little slit as well. And now we have to cut the inside of the brim. Again, we chose the size, so this has been cut down to size, and I'm going to cut this out. But also, if you look at the pattern, we've got notch here. It's important that when we cut this, we do a tiny little notch, maybe 1/2 centimeter, just to mark our quarters, because it'll make our life much easier when we actually start putting our hat together. So here that we see the notch, tiny little notch here, because this will need when we attach it to the crown. Okay, so these are our 3 patterns in felt, and now we're going to cut the crown. So this is our brim, and this is what we're going to use. This is Pelform. It's an interfacing. It doesn't stick. It's not iron-on or anything. It's used for curtains and stuff, but we use it for a lot of our crafts, bags, and many other things. It keeps its shape, but at the same time, if you press it, you can kind of mold it. So this is what we're using, and because it's so stiff, instead of pinning it, I'm going to draw around it. It's not something that we usually do, but it's not that important in this case. Remember that all these patterns have 0.8 centimeters seam allowance. So you just cut at the edge of your pattern. It's all included. You don't have to worry about anything. So if you looked at your pattern prior, here it says notches. Obviously, because I've cut down to size, I've only got an NO. But here there's a little line, and we want to do the notches like we did in the brim. So here's another one, and here's another one. So this is my brim. I'm going to cut around it, and we only need one of these. Sorry. So this is a brim, and these are our notches. I'm going to do a little notch just in case when I go to put it together I've got the mark on the wrong side. And I'm going to press this because of being wrapped. It's on a curve, and it's quite annoying. I'm just going to press it. So as you see now, it's just flattened. It keeps its shape, but you can mold it a little bit. I'm going to show you all the materials that we require for this hat. So these are all our patterns, and these are our requirements. So we need 150 centimeters or 1.5 meters of brown felt, and we needed 65 by 35 of Pelform or thick interfacing. So that we have. Now we need 2 meters of wire. It's going to be a malleable wire, strong enough but thick enough so that we can do whatever we want to do with it. Then we need our boning. Now the boning is for the brim, but the boning doesn't go way at the end to make it really stiff. It just stays kind of in the middle so that it gives it a bit of stability, but it kind of flops. So we've got 1.5 meters of boning. This is not the fiber boning, it's just a plastic boning at about 1.2 centimeters wide. So we only have a little bit of an overlap, which later we'll just tape it, and it gives it a bit of stability to the hat. And the most important of all are our cords. Now this is a standard cotton cord or rope, it doesn't really matter. It's about 7 millimeters wide, and these we have to cut down to size. We need a long one, which is 30 centimeters, and this is to frame the eyebrows. And then we have 2 of 9 centimeters, which is for the eyes. We don't have anything on the top upper lip, and then we have a piece of 21 centimeters for the mouth. And these lines have to be drawn in before we start working. So this is what I'm going to do right now, which is just draw on the top and the bottom, so that when we take the pattern off rather, we have a line. This one is just a straight line because it's thin, and this one we do the top and the bottom. So this is our eyebrows, eyes, upper lip and bottom. So I think that now we are ready to sew.
Thank you for watching. Please join us in part 2 for our Harry Potter sorting hat.